Louis Osbourne paid tribute to his father, Ozzy Osbourne, with a quiet, heartfelt sincerity that stood out in a world where celebrity memorials often lean toward the dramatic. His words carried deep emotional weight, reflecting the layers of their relationship, complicated yet rooted in love and respect. Rather than adopting a flashy approach, Louis honored his father with dignity, capturing both the mythical status of Ozzy and the very human role he played as a father. In his tribute following Ozzy's death, Louis acknowledged his father's immense influence, not just as a rock legend, but as a man who, despite personal struggles, made efforts to be part of his children's lives. Louis described Ozzy as larger than life, but still my dad, revealing the contrast between the global icon the world knew and the more intimate figure he personally experienced. Born in Birmingham, England in the 1970s to Ozzy and his first wife, Thelma Riley, Louis entered a life already immersed in fame and turbulence. His early years coincided with Ozzy's ascent in the music world, first with Black Sabbath and later as a solo artist. This rise brought with it the chaos of touring, substance abuse, and long absences from home. As a result, family life was often unstable. Ozzy and Thelma's marriage eventually collapsed, and Louis, along with his sister Jessica, experienced a distant and fractured relationship with their father. Despite these difficulties, Louis remained well-grounded. Raised primarily by his mother, he spent most of his youth in Birmingham, removed from the trappings of his father's fame. When Ozzy later married Sharon Osbourne and started a new, high-profile family, especially spotlighted during MTV's The Osbournes, Louis and Jessica chose to stay out of the public eye. They avoided the reality television spotlight, consciously distancing themselves from a media frenzy surrounding the Osbourne name. Although he did make a few brief appearances in the early episodes of The Osbournes, Louis quickly realized the format wasn't for him. These short moments offered a small glimpse into his connection with his father and stepmother Sharon, but Louis found the entire experience unnatural and intrusive. He later admitted the show felt scripted and invasive, solidifying his decision to maintain a life away from the cameras. Louis found his passion not in front of the camera, but in music, specifically in the UK's vibrant house music scene. During the early 1990s, while electronic dance music surged across Europe, Louis discovered a deep appreciation for underground club culture. He began DJing, drawn to the rhythm and energy of deep house and techno. What started as a personal interest quickly developed into a professional path. Performing at venues across Europe, he earned a reputation for thoughtful, technical sets driven by a genuine love of music rather than fame. Unlike some celebrity children who rely on their famous lineage, Louis worked hard to establish his own name in the industry. He became respected for his dedication and talent, not his last name. Eventually, he co-founded All Night Records, a label focused on quality, house music, and emerging artists. This venture not only showcased his musical vision, but also his desire to support up-and-coming talent in a competitive industry. Beyond DJing, Louis dabbled in music production, releasing EPs and tracks that were well received within electronic music circles. While he never sought mainstream chart success, his focus remained on authenticity and creative freedom. He performed at clubs in Ibiza, local festivals, and niche events, staying true to his roots and resisting the pressure to conform to commercial expectations. Although Louis lived outside his father's public world, he never entirely severed ties with Ozzy. Their relationship was strained for years due to past issues, including Ozzy's addictions and emotional distance. Still, over time, the two reconnected and began to build a more mature, respectful bond. Louis has occasionally spoken about the pain of having an often absent father, but he refrains from public criticism. His words reflect acceptance rather than bitterness, signaling his commitment to healing and understanding. Louis eventually built a quiet, fulfilling personal life. He married Louise Osbourne, an Irish actress and writer, and the couple settled in Ireland. They created a stable, family-oriented lifestyle, far removed from celebrity headlines. Louise's own background in the arts added a creative dimension to their relationship, and together they balanced their careers with a strong emphasis on privacy and personal integrity. Over the years, Louis has occasionally been asked about Ozzy's legacy and his own place within the famous family. While always respectful, he tends to keep his answers thoughtful and measured. He's acknowledged the influence of growing up surrounded by music legends, but he emphasizes that his artistic path is entirely his own. His sound, his style, and his choices come not from heavy metal roots, but from his passion for electronic music and club culture. While Louis may never reach the level of fame Ozzy enjoyed, he has carved out a life built on principle and authenticity. He has deliberately avoided reality TV, memoir deals, or tell-all interviews, choosing instead to be recognized for his own work and identity. His path is a refreshing deviation from the expectation that children of rock stars must follow in their parents' footsteps or echo their celebrity patterns. These days, Louis continues to perform selectively, taking on gigs that resonate with his personal values. His social media presence is modest, used primarily to share music and support fellow artists. There's a humility in his approach that suggests a deeper understanding of the costs of fame and the importance of staying true to oneself. While he will always be linked to Ozzy Osbourne by blood, he has made sure that his life story stands independently. Louis Osbourne's estimated net worth is around $19 million, accumulated through his music career, business ventures, and endorsements. Yet his wealth isn't what defines him. It's his choice to live on his own terms, follow his passion, and remain grounded despite a chaotic family history. Ultimately, Louis Osbourne represents something rare in the world of celebrity: individuality within legacy. He is a DJ, a producer, a husband, and a father. He's someone who saw the darker sides of fame up close and made the conscious decision to live differently. His story isn't about headlines or public drama. It's about finding peace, purpose, and creativity in a life that could easily have been consumed by noise. And that's the story of Louis Osbourne, a man who chose rhythm over spotlight, authenticity over spectacle. If you found this story compelling, give us a like, share it with friends, and don't forget to subscribe for more inspiring biographies.